TV soap news and spoilers say that on the fateful day of June 24th, the sleepy town of Willow Creek was a cauldron of secrets, simmering with unspoken truths and tangled relationships that threatened to boil over. The air was thick with tension, as if the town itself held its breath, waiting for the inevitable unraveling of lives carefully woven with lies. Beyond the gates, the stories of Danny, Bill, Jacob, Elon, and others collided in a dramatic tapestry of love, betrayal, and hidden truths. This is no ordinary tale. It's a saga of hearts on the brink, reputations teetering, and secrets that could shatter everything. If you dare to uncover the full scope of what transpired, dive into the heart of Willow Creek's darkest day. Danny sat in the dim glow of her living room, the soft hum of the ceiling fan doing little to cool the heat of her racing thoughts. Across from her, Pamela sipped chamomile tea, her eyes wide with empathy as Danny poured out her heart. The topic, as it so often was Bill, her ex-husband, the man she swore she'd left behind but could never quite escape. Just days ago, Bill had suffered a health scare, a sudden collapse that landed him in Willow Creek General with a racing heart and shallow breaths. Danny had rushed to his side, her instincts overriding the years of distance between them. "Every time I think I'm done with him, Pam," Danny said, her voice trembling, "something like this happens. It's like the universe is laughing at me, reminding me I'm not over him." She clutched her coffee mug, the ceramic warm against her palms, as memories of their marriage flooded back, late-night laughter, shared dreams, and the bitter fights that tore them apart. Pamela leaned forward, her brow furrowed. "Danny, you've got to stop torturing yourself. Bill's not your responsibility anymore," Pamela urged, but her words fell flat. Danny's heart was a battlefield, torn between resentment and a love that refused to die. Bill's health crisis had peeled back the layers of her defenses, exposing the raw truth. She still cared, deeply. But what Danny didn't know was that Bill's heart wasn't hers to claim, not entirely. Across town, in the sterile white of his hospital room, Bill lay propped up on pillows, his mind as restless as Danny's. Her visit had stirred something in him, a flicker of the old warmth they'd shared. Her concern, the way her hand lingered on his arm, had felt like a lifeline. Yet, as grateful as he was, Bill's heart belonged to another, Haley Hamilton, his current wife. Haley, with her sharp wit and unwavering loyalty, had been by his side through every storm. Bill knew Danny's presence at the hospital wasn't just friendly concern. Her eyes betrayed a longing he couldn't reciprocate. He sighed, staring at the ceiling, wondering how to navigate the delicate dance of gratitude and boundaries. Danny, lost in her own emotions, had no idea of the silent war Bill waged within himself, nor the heartbreak that awaited if she pushed too far. Meanwhile, across Willow Creek, Jacob paced the hardwood floors of his modest home, his phone pressed to his ear. His father, Elon, the town's revered sheriff, was the subject of a troubling conversation. Jacob's voice was tight with worry as he spoke to his cousin, Liam. "Smith's digging into Detective Marcel's case, and I'm afraid he's going to drag Dad into it," Jacob said, his knuckles white around the phone. Elon had been a pillar of Willow Creek for decades, a sheriff with a spotless record and a reputation for integrity. To Jacob, he was more than a father, he was a hero, the embodiment of hard work and justice. But now, Smith, a relentless investigative journalist with a nose for scandal, was circling like a vulture. Detective Marcel, a colleague of Elon's, had been linked to a string of questionable arrests, and whispers of corruption were growing louder. Jacob feared that Smith's probe could unearth something, anything, that might tarnish Elon's impeccable legacy. "Dad's given his life to this town," Jacob said, his voice cracking. "If Smith finds even a hint of dirt, it'll destroy him." Liam tried to reassure him, but Jacob's gut churned with dread. He couldn't shake the image of his father's proud shoulders slumping under the weight of public scrutiny. What Jacob didn't know was that Smith's investigation was a Pandora's box, poised to unleash chaos far beyond Elon's reputation. Elon, for all his heroics, had a secret, a connection to Detective Malone, a shadowy figure in the department. Malone and Elon had worked together years ago to bury a scandal involving Martin, a local businessman with ties to the town's elite. Martin's secret, a web of financial fraud and blackmail, was a ticking bomb. If Smith kept digging, he risked exposing not just Elon's involvement but a network of complicity that could ruin lives, including Smith's own marriage. Smith's wife, Clara, had her own ties to Martin, a fact she'd kept hidden. The deeper Smith probed, the closer he came to unraveling his own world. The stakes were higher than anyone realized. If Smith's investigation led to Vernon, a cunning lawyer rumored to be the mastermind behind Martin's schemes, the fallout would be catastrophic. Vernon's influence reached deep into Willow Creek's power structure, and he'd enlisted unlikely allies, including Naomi, Jacob's wife. Naomi, desperate to secure her family's future, had been drawn into Vernon's orbit, unaware of the full extent of his plans. If Vernon's role came to light, Naomi's world, her marriage, her reputation, her dreams for her children, would collapse like a house of cards. Jacob, already consumed by worry for his father, had no idea his own home was at risk. The town buzzed with unease, as if sensing the storm brewing beneath its quaint surface. Neighbors exchanged hushed whispers at the diner, and old grudges resurfaced, fueled by the fear of exposure. Willow Creek, once a haven of small-town charm, now felt like a stage where every player was hiding a script. Smith, driven by a hunger for truth, was oblivious to the collateral damage his quest might cause. He saw only the story, the Pulitzer-worthy scoop that could cement his career. But truth, as Willow Creek was about to learn, came at a price. Amid the town's turmoil, a quieter story unfolded, one of love, tentative and sweet. Tomas, a kind-hearted mechanic with a shy smile, was about to have his world turned upside down. Kat, his girlfriend, had planned a romantic surprise, a gesture to show him she was ready to take their relationship to the next level. Kat, who'd never been in a serious relationship before, had kept Tomas at arm's length, her fears of vulnerability holding her back. But tonight, she was ready to let him in, to share a piece of her heart she'd guarded fiercely. Kat's plan, however, had been complicated by an impulsive act. Days earlier, she'd snuck into her half-sister Eva's hotel room, searching for evidence tied to Laura's case, a mysterious disappearance that had gripped Willow Creek months ago. Kat's motives were pure, she wanted to protect a friend implicated in the case. But as she rifled through Eva's belongings, the door swung open, and Eva entered, with Tomas in tow. Kat, heart pounding, dove under the bed, her breath shallow as she listened to the scene unfold. Eva, ever bold, leaned close to Tomas, her lips brushing near his. "You know we'd be good together," she murmured, her voice laced with seduction. Kat's stomach twisted, but Tomas stepped back, his voice firm. "Eva, I care about Kat. I'm with her, and that's not changing. You're a friend, nothing more." Kat's heart soared, even as she lay cramped and dusty under the bed. Tomas's loyalty, his quiet strength, was a balm to her insecurities. When Eva left, frustrated, Kat emerged, her trust in Tomas solidified. Tonight's surprise, a candle at dinner, a confession of her deepening feelings, was her way of honoring that trust. As June 24th drew to a close, Willow Creek stood on the edge of a precipice. Danny, grappling with her unresolved love for Bill, faced a truth she wasn't ready to accept. Bill, torn between gratitude and loyalty, braced for the fallout of Danny's hopes. Jacob, haunted by the specter of his father's ruin, prayed Smith's investigation would falter. Elon, the town's golden sheriff, hid a secret that could cost him everything. Smith, relentless in his pursuit, was a spark threatening to ignite a wildfire of scandal. And Kat, buoyed by love, was a rare light in the gathering darkness. These stories, interwoven with passion and peril, are but a glimpse of the drama that unfolded beyond the gates. Willow Creek secrets are a house of mirrors, reflecting truths no one is ready to face. Will Dani find closure, or will her heart break anew? Can Jacob protect his father's legacy, or will Smith's pen bring it crashing down? And what of Kat and Tomas? Will their love survive the town's chaos? To uncover the full tale, to see how these lives collide and shatter, watch our video. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.